If you've ever wondered what exactly are we trying to do when we say trauma-informed ministry, this video is for you. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the terms and strategies, but at its core, trauma-informed ministry is about showing up for others in ways that promote healing and avoid harm. Hi, I'm Todd Benkert from Hope's Companion, and today we're talking about something foundational, the 4 R's of trauma-informed ministry. Think of these as 4 aims or pre-commitments. Before we dive into how to care for survivors, we need to be clear on what we're trying to do and why. This framework originally comes from SAMHSA, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. It's widely used in healthcare, education, and social services, and while our ministry context is different, the 4 R's are incredibly helpful in showing churches and Christian ministries what it really takes to care for people who carry deep wounds. If you're serving in ministry and want to learn how to care for people with deep wounds, subscribe to our channel. We post new content every week to help churches become safe, healing communities for trauma survivors. Now, let's walk through each of the 4 R's and explore how they translate to ministry. The first R is realize the widespread impact of trauma. Before we can minister well, we need to recognize how common trauma really is and how deeply it affects people. For many of us in church leadership, we were trained to interpret behavior through a scriptural lens. Is this a sin? Is this lack of faith? Is this rebellion? But trauma-informed ministry calls us to consider another biblical category, suffering. It helps us to see trauma as a wound, one that shapes how people think, feel, relate, and grow. That shift expands our whole approach. We realize discipleship isn't just about behavior change, it's also about healing. We stop defaulting to assumptions of sin or rebellion and begin discerning whether a survival response may be at play, responding with both grace and wisdom. And we remember that Jesus came not only to deal with sin, but to heal the brokenhearted and bind up their wounds. Psalm 147:3. The second R is recognize potential signs and symptoms of trauma. When you begin to understand trauma's effects, it changes how you walk with people. Trauma affects the whole person. Body, mind, emotions, relationships, and even their spiritual life. And here's what's crucial. Many trauma responses are involuntary. They're the nervous system trying to stay safe. And if we ignore that, we may disciple in ways that are impatient or even harmful. Trauma-informed care slows down. It listens longer. It knows that people often can't process truth until they feel safe. It focuses on healing as part of discipleship. The third R is respond to the needs of trauma survivors. The first 2 R's are about understanding. This one's about what we do with that understanding. Trauma-informed ministry means integrating what we know into every layer of church life. Personally, and how we lead, listen, counsel, and disciple. Culturally, creating a church environment that is safe, patient, and encouraging. And organizationally, with policies and systems that both prevent harm and promote hope, healing, and community. Jesus never dismissed suffering. He entered into it. He met people in their pain, and he brought restoration. So we ask ourselves, are we following his lead? The final R is resist re-traumatization. This one's easy to overlook, but it's vitally important. Sometimes churches, without meaning to, end up doing harm. Not because we don't care, but because we don't see the full picture. When we don't recognize trauma, we might unknowingly trigger painful memories. We might place spiritual burdens on people that they aren't meant to carry. We might misrepresent God's character. We might fail to show compassion. And when these things happen, we make it harder, not easier, for people to encounter the gospel as good news. Resisting re-traumatization means paying close attention to our language, methods, and assumptions. It means making sure church is a place where survivors can heal, not be hurt again. So here's the question. Will we be people who realize the impact of trauma? Who recognize its effects? Who respond with care? Who resist doing harm? That's what trauma-informed ministry looks like. That's the foundation. That's the calling. And that's how we reflect the heart of Jesus to a wounded world. If this was helpful, take a second to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone in your church or ministry. And if you want to go deeper, check out the links below. You can download a free personalized safety plan template right now and explore our full course on trauma-informed ministry designed specifically for churches and ministry leaders. Thanks for watching. See you next time.